Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's up, Jamie? What's up, Heldy? How's everybody doing today? Hope you're all having a fantastic start to your Friday. I got to get some stuff sorted out here behind the scenes. I got off to a little bit of a delayed start today, so just give me a second. But in the meantime, here's what I will tell you. Washington Commanders. We're going to discuss about all things related to the sale. We are going to discuss the throwback jerseys. What I would love to ask you, people of the chat, throw topics, throw questions, throw things you would like to discuss here in the Friday Free For All while I get some last minute things set up here. We should start in about 2 or 3 minutes, but in the meantime, please throw whatever stuff you want to discuss here on the show in the chat right now. So when when I come back, we are ready to go with all the topics for the show. So give me just a couple of minutes, guys, to get some stuff sorted out. No Bailey prospects and props not out yet. We'll be out later today. We haven't recorded it yet, actually. We were supposed to record it yesterday. Had something come up that stopped me from recording. So we're going to record it this morning. So that'll come out later today. But in the meantime, while I'm getting everything set up, please, topics, questions, things you'd like to discuss here on the show today. You guys know the Friday Free For All. You know the drill. It's a very interactive show. So give me just a couple seconds. I just got to fill up my water, turn the light on, do some small things, and I'll be right back, and we'll get the show started. All right, we are back. Hildy says, I think we stay with my idea. Jamie says, Chris, you should do an Immaculate Grid NFL version in the post show one day. You know what, Jamie? Why don't we make that the post show every day? We'll do it today on the show. We will do one today here on the show. I'll probably embarrass myself trying to figure it out, but that's neither here nor there. We've got a fun one here for you today. We're going to talk about the Washington Commanders. Lots of stuff to discuss there on the show. Yes, Heldy. Yes, Heldy. What would you like to discuss as the last thing in the pre-show? I saw Oppenheimer last night. I'm planning on seeing it this evening. It is my current plan. This is normally a post-show conversation that you're sneaking into the pre-show, but I'll allow it because it's Oppenheimer. It's elite. Of course it is. It's a Christopher Nolan film. How could it not be elite? But okay, that's neither here nor there. We've got some stuff to take care of here with the Friday Free For All, and then I think we've got a fun post-show concept since we're going to do the Immaculate Grid for NFL and see if we can figure it out. I did not do well yesterday because I guessed the guy who moved this offseason in free agency and hasn't technically played for his new team yet, and I got it wrong, and I got upset, and I rage quit. Jamie seeing Beyonce this weekend. But okay, with that being said, Friday Free For All, you guys know the drill. Again, throughout the show, put things in there that you'd like to discuss. Heavy on the Commanders today, heavy on the throwback jerseys today. That's kind of what we're going to discuss. And then we'll get back into some of our lists, some of our long-form stuff next week, along with some scouting of some quarterbacks. So, all right, I'm going to press record for the podcast audience so we can get the show on the road. And welcome in to the Friday edition of the TDN Daily podcast. Chris Schubert back with you here once again on the show. Hope you're all having a fantastic start to your Friday, a close to the week, a massive day in the world of the NFL with the Washington Commanders being sold, a massive day in the world of Hollywood is we were talking in the pre-show about Oppenheimer, but Oppenheimer and Barbie come out today. So a massive Friday and massive close to the week and beginning of the weekend here on the TDN Daily podcast. We've got a fun one in store for you here today because it is the Friday free for all. I have come to the table with two topics. We're going to talk in depth about the Washington Commanders sale becoming official. We're going to talk a little bit more in depth about the throwback jerseys in the National Football League. But the live YouTube chat is right there on the side of my screen, and whatever they say throughout the course of this show is going to go. They are going to dictate what topics we get into after those first two, and they are two pretty big ones. And we'll start with the Washington Commanders sale being official because there's a lot of stuff that has come out of this deal becoming official. There is the stuff about the report, the findings into the Washington Commanders, Mary Jo White's report into workplace misconduct. Dan Snyder got fined $60 million as a result of the findings, and it's not a surprise that this report gets released and the findings are made public and a fine is levied once the sale is made official. The timing of that is not coincidental. It's exactly the way the NFL wanted it to happen. And the $6 billion sale for the Commanders is official. They are going to chart a new course. Josh Harris is going to be the leader of this new group that I believe includes Magic Johnson to be the new owners of the Commanders. And the first place I'd like to start here is I know what this means to Commanders fans across the league, across the country, who are breathing a sigh of relief, that are happy that the Dan Snyder era has come to an end. And I have this great tweet that Adam Schefter put together on what Dan Snyder's tenure looked like as the owner of the Washington Commanders. He owned the team for 24 seasons, 6 playoff appearances, 2 playoff wins, no NFC Championship game appearances, 10 head coaches, 27 different starting quarterbacks, and a .427 winning percentage, which ranked 27th in the National Football League. That courtesy of Adam Schefter yesterday on Twitter. And that's just the on-the-field product for the Washington Commanders. A lot of the turmoil, the turbulence, the roller coaster ride that was Dan Snyder's tenure as the owner of the Washington Commanders wasn't just the .427 winning percentage. It wasn't just the 6 playoff appearances in 24 seasons. It was the way he conducted himself off the field. It was the findings of the Mary Jo Williams report about what the team did with some finances and some accounting stuff. It's the workplace misconduct allegations. It is the laundry list of off-the-field things that have plagued the Washington Commanders during the 24 years that Dan Snyder has been the tenure. And so yesterday, and now moving forward, there is a sigh of relief that there is a different person in charge, and hopefully, don't know how long it's going to take for the on-field product to get better, but that normally sorts itself out. You can't really fix off-the-field workplace culture, workplace misconduct stuff unless you change the person at the top. And today is a good day in that regard as the Washington Commanders have made that change. Now, speaking of changes, there's a lot of changes that apparently are going to occur for the Washington Commanders. As one of the big things that has come out from Magic Johnson, from Don Van Natta, Jr. of ESPN yesterday, is that a name change is very, very much on the table for the Washington Commanders. Now, listen, as somebody who is very partial to the era in which they were called the Washington Football Team, I'm not a huge fan of the Commanders' name anyway, so I would sign up for a name change and for them to do something different. But it goes back to, and I'll read the quote from Don Van Natta Jr. Quote, "I think there's a pretty good chance of that to erase any part of the Snyder legacy to have a complete do-over," end quote. And I hear this quote, and I wonder how much it is going to extend beyond just a name change. Is it going to extend to the coaching? Is it going to extend to the general manager? Is it going to extend to the roster? Is it going to extend to things that occur in the stadium? Is there going to be a concerted effort over the next 12 to 18 months to try to very, very quickly right the wrongs of the Dan Snyder era? Look, it's a very easy PR win for Josh Harris and his group, right? They have the easiest job in the world to Washington Commanders fans. They are already viewed as a savior. There's not a whole lot that they could do right now in the short term that would make those people mad. So if they are able to change the name because they want to completely rewrite the Dan Snyder era, and they want to completely set their own course, which, by the way, I agree with, and two, is their right as the new owners of the team. If you walk in and you bought a business, you bought a sports franchise, you bought something, you would obviously evaluate what's working, and you'd keep those things. You don't get to Josh Harris's level of a businessman without being able to know what things to keep and what things to move on from. And so I think Josh Harris is going to use 2023 as a complete evaluation season of what stuff around here, name, the way we conduct ourselves in the concession stand, the stadium, training camp, the organizational structure, ticket sales. I mean, all the stuff, everything in the world that occurs in a sports franchise. Josh Harris is going to spend 2023 evaluating and seeing what to keep. Now, Sam Teets does bring up a very good point in the chat that Josh Harris chose to keep Ben Simmons and move on from Jimmy Butler. That's a basketball thing, Sam, okay? We'll see how he does with the football side of things. But I understand it. And so I'm going to be very, very intrigued to see what 2023 looks like. And Heldy just said in the chat, I think unless some crazy positive year, they clean house. And I tend to agree with that. I think you're going to see sweeping changes. Not because they're 100% warranted, but because a new owner is going to want to make their mark on their team now. And I think you're going to see some positive changes that get made that make this team better. Dan Finch says afternoon UK time. Afternoon, Dan. Hope you're having a great start to your day. But I look at this, and by the way, it was a unanimous approval for Josh Harris to be the new owner for the Washington Commanders. I don't think that's much of a surprise. We saw the reports a couple of weeks ago. Was it last week? A week and a half ago? The ESPN report about the blackmail PowerPoint? I'm not surprised that it was a unanimous approval for this sale to be put in place. Jamie says, promoting Eric Bieniemy to head coach after the season will be a positive PR move for them too, I'd imagine. Look, I'm not trying to discount the move of promoting Eric Bieniemy or changing the team name or some of the things that we might see the Washington Commanders do. They're at rock bottom, so almost anything that they could do at this point will be a positive PR move. But yes, Jamie, I agree that making Eric Bieniemy a head coach would be a positive PR move. I think the name change would be a positive PR move. I think there are a whole host of other things that they can do that could be a positive PR move, from season ticket sales, from concession, from training camp, from all sorts of different things. Listen, the NFL is a business that goes beyond just the game each and every week. It's a lot of other things. And they also want to make money and have this be a very lucrative business for them. They just spent $6 billion on it, right? Well, changing the team name generates T-shirts and jerseys and merchandise and lots of merchandise dollars that could go a long way for them in that group. And again, the NFL is probably going to be very, very happy to be rid of an owner that has been a problem for them the last couple of seasons. Heldy, there are player outreach things. You kind of mentioned that. There are lots of different things that they could do to be better in the community, to be better with former players, to just completely change the narrative, change the conversation, change the culture in that building. And it's not going to happen overnight, but there are some small steps that we could see them take here over the next couple of months and years that put them on the right track. I am intrigued to see what a name change looks like again for this team, because they haven't handled the name change properly the last couple times they've had to do it. We'll see what they do under new ownership. And I'm now being trolled in the chat. Bailey says, that's a good topic we can talk about. Will the Cardinals draft Caleb Williams if given the chance? Listen, there are a lot of things that we can discuss in the Friday free-for-all. I normally allow a lot. That's on the do not discuss list for a very long time. Okay? We're not doing this again. And I know that this is now a recurring bit on the show, that during the Friday free-for-all, you guys love to troll me and you want to have this conversation. But we're not doing it. Maybe after I watch Caleb Williams over the weekend, we talk about him on Monday or Tuesday. We can do that. But right now, here on Friday, it's not going to happen. So I think great news for Commanders fans and whatever their team name is going to be in the future. I think it's great for the NFL. Again, not coincidental that the NFL releases the findings into the workplace culture and the financial allegations against the Washington Commanders and Dan Snyder right after the unanimous approval of the sale to Josh Harris. That drops and he's fined $60 million. Not coincidental. The NFL is always going to keep those things under the rug. I think for two reasons. One, they don't want the bad PR. But two, I wonder if they were concerned about Dan Snyder kind of retaliating if those findings came out before the sale was finalized and the $6 million would be heading Dan Snyder's way. So not a surprise that ultimately ended up being the case. Now we're talking about Drake May and Bo Nix. Listen, guys, I got to get through all these quarterbacks. Just let me get through them, and then we'll have a very lengthy conversation. The other thing I want to talk about here, and again, you guys know the drill. It's a Friday free for all. You throw whatever else you want to talk about here in the chat as we go. I wanted to discuss. We're not going to break them down like the stitching and the colors and stuff like that. But I have. This is maybe a take or a thought that has crossed my mind that I want to know if I may be right or wrong here. Are we talking about throwback jerseys more than we ever have in years past? Was there a memo that I missed that more teams were going to be using throwback jerseys in the year 2023? And now that I'm seeing like the Jets sack exchange throwbacks leak, the Colts jerseys came out the other day, the Seahawks are like, did I miss something here? And listen, I'm pretty in tune here. We do a show every single day talking about the National Football League and the things that that happen in the National Football League. We're pretty on top of it here on the show. Did I miss a memo? Jamie says there was a new rule or something, I believe, Chris. NFL allowed teams to use them more. So the NFL has opened the door for teams to allow teams to use throwbacks more, and like everybody is just storming through the gates. The new helmet rule. I see. The new helmet rule where they're able to use different helmets than the ones that they currently have, which is now pushing teams into using throwbacks. I do vaguely remember this being the case. It's not a bad thing. I love jersey combos. I love throwbacks. I love all this stuff. It seemingly has come out of nowhere and everybody's doing it. And I just thought I missed something where like there was a new rule that was put in place where teams have to use throwback jerseys. But I do remember what you're talking about, Heldy, the new helmet rule where teams can now use a different shell on the decal on the helmet. And so you're now starting to see teams do that. I don't think the Colts jerseys are that bad. I know people are up in arms about what they did with the helmet, right? And I can understand that. I really don't think they're that bad. I don't think they're bad enough to warrant the kind of reaction that they've got. Are they great? No, they're not great. They're not my favorites. But I'm here to tell you, I don't think they're that bad. What other ones do I need to look at and share my thoughts here on the show? I know I said I wasn't going to do this, but it clearly feels like this is what you guys want me to do. They're like, all right, not the worst. Hell, that's exactly how I feel. Disappointing? I think that's fair. I think the helmet's a bit of a weird choice. What other ones am I looking at? The Patriots are going to wear their Pat Patriot. I've seen those before. The Seahawks. All right. Seahawks throwbacks. Let's see what we got here. Oh, I like these. Oh, these are very good. These were well done. Give this person a raise. Give this team a raise. These are very good. Man, Geno Smith in the throwback Seahawks jersey is something I like seeing. Those are very nice. Very well done. I love the helmet. I love the blue. I love everything about it. Should be their main color scheme. You know? You're not wrong. You're not wrong. They could wear these. I think some of the throwbacks from back in the day, you could get away with wearing today, right? With a modernization. There are some that you just couldn't, right? They were made for that time. And they just don't work, I think. They've modernized this Seahawks one. I think it works. I think you could use it. I don't know if this is I don't know if you gave everybody if you hit everybody with the Men in Black light thing. Terrible way to phrase it. You know what I'm talking about. The thing that removes your memory. And people didn't know that these were throwback jerseys. I think people would like these jerseys on their own, not just because they're throwbacks. Bailey says, people getting angry at Madden ratings is the worst thing about Twitter right now. One, who cares? Two, rating doesn't mean anything to how they play in-game. I'm a huge sports video game fan. Sorry, I was collecting my thoughts there. I play MLB The Show on a pretty regular basis. I play FIFA, which is now going to be EA Sports FC, on a regular basis. I've played some NHL from time to time. I've also played some Madden. I'm pretty sure Madden and NFL fans are the only community that obsess over the ratings of the fictional versions of real life players, of the video game versions of real life players, to the level that Madden people freak out about these ratings. Again, huge soccer guy, huge EA Sports FC FIFA fan. People don't obsess over the ratings of players in FIFA the way that we're doing it right now for Madden. I don't obsess over Mike Trout or Shohei Ohtani's or, Francisco Lindor or Jacob deGrom or Justin Verlander or Lucas G. Like, I don't obsess over the ratings of these players in any other sport. Yet it just feels like in Madden, it's like this weird thing where, like, if they're not rated well in Madden, you're not allowed to think they're good in real life. Like, I don't understand what goes on here. The only thing that people ever cared about with FIFA was who was they ranked higher, Messi or Ronaldo, not getting upset about the rating of depth pieces on the team. Well, and it was like Bailey, the Messi versus Ronaldo thing, and not to get too in the weeds here, is that it was a back and forth each year of which guy was better in a given season. So it was always interesting to see what they would do. But there was a legitimate real life reason to be paying attention to that. Jacob deGrom's injury rating is always too high in the show. You got to turn it up even higher. I just don't get it. I don't understand the obsession that occurs with these rankings and these ratings the way that there is in other sports. I don't understand it. I really don't. Not my thing. I'm just going to play. I'm probably not going to play the game because I don't think the game's very good, but the rating of the player doesn't really matter to me when I'm playing the game. Like, it impacts a team choice, but, like, if they didn't make Sauce a top 5 corner in Madden, I'm going to be like, I think you're wrong, but I'm just going to move on with my life. Like, it's okay. I'm not going to obsess over it all that much. That is going to do it for us here on the Friday Free For All, at least the podcast version of the show. Appreciate everybody being here, rating, reviewing, subscribing, following along with us here on the show, sharing the show with a friend. We greatly do appreciate it. We've got Jamie has snuck a question in here that we're going to get in the Friday Free For All, and then I'll do the close. Chris, which 3 quarterbacks would you like to see on Netflix's quarterback show next season? Do I have to follow the model of really great quarterback, mediocre quarterback, random quarterback thrown into the mix? Do I have to follow that formula? If I have to follow that formula, I'll pick my answers. If I can just pick any 3, it might take me any quarterbacks in the National Football League. All right, so I need entertainment value. By the way, I have not seen any of this quarterback series. Heard it's good. Kind of feels like they're stealing off the Drive to Survive F1 thing, and I'm a huge fan of that show. So I'm not really sure how much I'm going to like it, but I'll give it a try. So I can pick anybody that plays quarterback in the National Football League to be on the quarterback next season. I would like Joseph R. Burrow. I actually think I'm going to fall into the one good quarterback, one middle tier quarterback, and one backup quarterback. Because I'm going to go. No, I'm not. I'm going to pick Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts. And I think I kind of want a rookie. Give me Bryce Young. Give me Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, and Bryce Young. I think it would be really, really cool for Netflix to follow a rookie quarterback campaign. So Bryce Young would be the selection. Those would be my 3. But that is going to do it for us here on the show. Please rate, review, subscribe, share the show with a friend. This is it for the podcast version. You got the video version of the show, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're live on the YouTube side of things. And we've got a lot of fun stuff planned. We are now in the post show, starting it today. Jamie came up with a really good idea. The NFL, or Pro Football Reference, has come out with a NFL Immaculate Grid. And for those of you who don't know, there's an MLB Immaculate Grid. You'll have to see the post show to figure this out. It's a guessing game about players who've played for multiple teams. We're going to do it in the post show each and every day this week, or each and every day moving forward until we get bored of it. It's going to be a lot of fun. So that's what you have to look forward to on the video version of the show and the post show. If you join us Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you can't join us live, you can catch us on demand. Just go to the Draft Network YouTube channel, click the live tab. All of the videos are there as well, so you can click on any of them and catch back up with any of the shows that you missed. But that is going to do it for us here on this edition of the show. Hope you all have a fantastic weekend. We're back on Monday. Got a lot of fun stuff planned next week. We'll talk to you then. You saw Barbie 2. Do NFL teams have to sign off on the players being on the show? I would assume so. Barbie was good, Heldy. That's nice. I might see it. I'm definitely seeing Oppenheimer first. I've been waiting on this movie for 18 months now. So how do I get to... I think I know. I'm just going to go to Immaculate Grid, and I think it's going to tell me that there's a football version. So we're going to do the football version. Okay. I need to... Stand by, folks. I need to get everything set up here to where I'm not typing in any names. I'm not looking up anything. I just need to set this up to where you guys can see it. Just stand by, and we'll see how we can do. I don't want... Nobody help. Okay? Nobody help. Just let me do this. I'm not going to look at the chat. The Arizona Cardinals and the Buffalo Bills. This is going to be a weird one, but this is a guy that went here when I was covering the team and working here. Jordan Phillips. Give me my 8%. The New York Jets and the Buffalo Bills. The New York Jets and the Buffalo Bills. New York Jets and the Buffalo Bills. We're gonna hold off on that. The New York Jets and the Cleveland Browns. You cannot put Elijah Moore here. It will tell you it's incorrect. 3,000-yard season. There's only 2 guys that have done it. That's one of the guys. The Detroit Lions and a 3,000-yard season. We'll go with this guy. And then for 1,000-yard season, we'll go for this guy. All right. Those are some big percentages. We don't love it, but hey, listen, we're trying to go 9 for 9. So we've got Jordan Phillips, we got Kurt Warner, we got Matthew Stafford. We need a Cardinal and a Brown. This is tough. I don't have a long like baseball. We'll do baseball hereafter, and you'll see the difference. I need a Jet and a Bill. This is gonna pain me if I don't get these 3. I can't guess Elijah Moore. I can't do it. It doesn't count. So I need a Jet and a Bill. I need a Jet and a Bill and a Jet and a Brown. A Jet and a Bill, a Jet and a Brown. Did George Fant play for the Bills at any point? Jamie says there's a tab now from regular. Yeah. Bailey says, in which case a lot of teams might not allow it. I haven't watched the show yet, but I imagine the Bears would veto it because they're afraid of everything. Yeah, I mean that's just, yeah. And that's the thing with Drive to Survive, right? Is that like, or the F1 show, is that they've got all the teams on board. And like, it took a while, like for Mercedes to get on board and get interviewed, like Lewis to get interviewed and Toto Wolff to get interviewed. But once they saw the popularity of the show and they saw what it did for their individual, like, fan base of their team and their drivers, they were fully on board. Then Ferrari hopped in, and Christian Horner, I think, saw the writing on the wall from the get-go and saw how impactful it was, and that's why I think Max and Red Bull are so popular. I need to figure this out. We've got a lot of different this is tough. I don't think we're going to be able to do this. I think we're stuck here. A Jet and a Brown. Oh. Give me some Braylon Edwards love. Thank you very much. 4 more to go. I need a Jet and a Bill. It's going to be some random offensive linemen. The offensive linemen are the new reliever in Immaculate Grid Baseball. That's what it is. I need a Lion and a Brown and a Lion and a Bill. I don't have anything for these 3. I don't have anything for these 3. So if I'm the Browns Cardinals one came to me immediately, but the other didn't. The Browns Cardinals immediately came to you. Man. You're a player that I'm just like, is there just a big name player that I'm absolutely missing? I'm trying to think. I'm trying to go through. Do we do clues? You can do clues. It's not a big name player. Okay. You can do clues if you'd like. I'm thinking of more players that fit this box. John Brown. Not a big name player, but might start week 1 for them. Start week 1 for who? The Cardinals or the Browns? I don't know if I don't even know what answer helps me more if they play for this person might play for the Cardinals week 1. This guy might play for the Cardinals week 1. You want to give me the position now? Jets, Bills, think hairstyle. Think hairstyle. Quarterback? Oh. I forgot he was there, but yes. Jets, Bills, think hairstyle, wide receiver. Did Berrios play there? Braxton Berrios didn't play for the Bills. He played for the Patriots, and now he plays for the Dolphins. He played for the Bills? I don't want to guess it. Think Clemson. Now we're thinking Clemson. You guys are not good at this clue stuff. Not current player. Chris? Yes, Heldy. I told you, watch how quick I am with baseball. I'm not good at football. It's just, it doesn't work. The brain, hint on Jets, Bills. Okay? Jaw. What position does Clemson produce first-round busts at? I mean, there's a lot of them, Sam. How long do you have? Geno Smith? You want me to guess Geno Smith here? You guys are all picking different players. I can clearly tell it's confusing me. This is not helping. You're not helping. So, can you all get together and pick one player that you would like to give me clues for? I forgot who punched Geno Smith is so far out of my mind. Okay, so Jamie's player, Jets Bills, think hairstyle. His initials are JK. JK. JK, wide receiver, think hairstyle, not active. What the heck is this? What is this? I mean, they're probably great clues, but like, what am I supposed to do with this? Javon Curse is the name that's coming into my head, and I know that's not right. And then John Ross's name is also in my head, and I know that's not right either. It doesn't fit any of the things that you're talking about. Is that? Oh, I got it. Thank you. Good old Jeremy Curley. 0.4% on the Jeremy Curley. The Buffalo Bill. These two I don't have. I mean, I didn't have Jeremy Curley either. Jamie's player led the Jets in receiving in 2012. Good old Jeremy Curley. Yeah, my guy. The Bills and the Lions. What am I supposed to do with either of these? Yeah, sorry, Heldy. My sincerest apologies. My sincerest apologies. All right, we're gonna give up on football. Watch the baseball. Watch this. This will be great. Nolan Arenado is gonna go there. Paul Goldschmidt will go there. Ketel Marte will go there. Ketel Marte didn't steal 30 bases. Are you kidding me? Charlie Blackmon definitely stole 30 bases for the. We're not going perfect. A Rocky and a Padre will stand by on for a second. A Diamondback and a Padre. And there's a lot of interdivision stuff going on here. A Cleveland Guardian who stole 30 bases. This guy probably did it. Do we not steal 30 bases anymore in this league? What are we doing here? What the frick are we doing here? I'm not going to go perfect today. What else do we have here? A Guardian who stole 30 bases. Oh, this guy probably did it. 30 steal season for the Diamondbacks that was not Ketel Marte. Had to be somebody older. True, Bailey. I'm not my finest hour. I'm not going to go perfect. I'm going to have at least two blanks, and I got to start hitting some other stuff. A Guardian and a Padre. This would be a guy. No, not Steve Clevenger. Mike Clevenger. Thank you. A Guardian. If Chris does better in the NFL one, this will be funny. Yeah, I mean, you guys gave me one for football, right? Like, I've got everybody but two, and I can't. I'm gonna have at least two blank here, if not more. I need a Rocky and a Padre. A Rocky and a Padre. Let's think here. Pick an outfielder, but I don't know what outfielder would have been there. So we're going to move on for just a second. We're going to try to find a Diamondback and a Padre, which is tough. And so I'm going to try to figure out the Diamondback that stole 30 bases. It's probably this guy. It's not that guy either. Who stole 30 bases for the Diamondbacks? That's not Upton or Ketel Marte. What are we doing? This stinks. This is a bad grid today. Trying to think of a person that played for the Guardians/Indians and the Cardinals. There's clearly got to be a number of players because it's in the grid, but holy smokes, is this difficult. This is brutal. What a terrible day for the grids. What a terrible day for the grids. Who else was a speedster? Did this guy do it? This is more wrong than any of the other guesses. Oh, he did do it. It was Gene Segura. That's your guy. That's your guy that stole 30 bases for the Diamondbacks. All right. Who were the players that I missed? Jurickson Profar, probably could have gotten that one. Andrew Miller, I should have gotten that one. And Justin Upton. Yeah, those would be 3 to get. Not great. Those are 3 gettable names. There's no obscure ones in there. Unfortunate. But all right, that was fun. I think we're gonna start doing that every day now. I'll do both grids. We'll start with the football one, obviously, because it's what our show is. But we'll do the immaculate grids every day on the show. I'll save them. I usually do them first thing in the morning when I get up. I didn't today because I woke up a little bit late with some stuff. But all right, that'll be a fun little post-show concept. Great call, Jamie. Great call on the immaculate grid as a post-show concept. But that is going to do it for us here on this. Bailey says, I have a long commute starting in 2 hours. Will prospects and props be up by then, or do I need to find something else to download? Will prospects and props be up in 2 hours? 50-50, Bailey. It's 50-50. I'd find something else to download just in case. I apologize, but I think it's 50-50. But all right, I got to edit this show. I got to work on prospects and props for today. We're back on Monday. The plan currently is on Sunday. I'm sitting down at this desk, and I'm watching Caleb Williams. And then we're going to talk about him on Monday. So I expect everybody here to have their thoughts on Caleb Williams ready to go. I will have my thoughts on Caleb Williams ready to go. And we will have a conversation about him on Monday. So that's the current plan for next week. And then we're going to sneak in some of the other evergreen list kind of things that we've been talking about doing next week on the show as well. But that is going to do it for us. Hope you all have a fantastic weekend with whatever you got going on. Hope it's a good one. And I will talk to you all on Monday. Bye, everybody.